I was in the Air Force from 1983 to 1991. I served at Little Rock Air Force Base in Arkansas. I was worked on a C-130 base. I was an avionics technician, so I worked on radar, radio, different aspects of avionics. I spent several rotations, TDY, overseas through Europe and the Mediterranean, in England, Greece, Italy, Turkey. So got to see a lot of that part of the world. Really enjoyed it. But when I got out, they asked you, I filled out the questionnaire, never heard anything back from them. So I assumed that I didn't qualify for anything. So I just went on about my life until probably about 12, 15 years later, a friend of mine that contacted me out of the blue, just asked me how I was doing. And he had told me he'd had knee surgery. And he said, I'd had 2 knee surgeries that were quite a bit more extensive. And he said, did you ever get anything out of that? And I said, not a dime. And so at that point, I decided, well, maybe I ought to check into this. And I went through the VA representative back here in Iowa, and they got me 40% for my knees and hips and low back. Over the years, my knees had deteriorated to the point where I had to have both knees replaced. And I have arthritis in my hips, bone on bone. And I had decided, my situation had deteriorated. So I thought I'd check with the VA and look at upgrading my benefits. So I applied through the local VA, and I was denied on everything. And so I thought, well, that's it. And then I had a cousin in Colorado that I was talking to, and he said he went through one of these companies, and they got him his upgrade in his disability. So I was looking on the internet one day, and I come across you guys, and everything looked good. My wife, who is the smart one in the family, she researched you folks and said they're legit. They seem like a good company. So I reached out to you guys, and a few months later, here we are. The praises of folks like you guys that do this. He said the resources that you guys have access to, the writers, he said there's so much more experience and have so much more knowledge doing this stuff, because I know we'd get paperwork, and my wife's an educated woman. She's an educator, and she would look at it and said, oh my gosh, it was so overwhelming. We were both just like very giddy. Yeah, we're like, oh my goodness, this is insane. I mean, it's definitely life-changing, that kind of income. I mean, to be able to help my family out, because we live in a lower income part of the state, and not a lot of people don't have a lot of money. And something like this, I can definitely make some changes with, as far as like at church, my kids, my siblings, it's just kind of a nice thing to be able to help other people out a little bit financially. And I'm excited to do that. Thank you guys so much. God bless you all.